Chiefs Kingdom, the season may be over, but our live shows are still happening. If you want to come, ask questions, hang out, talk with me about the Kansas City Chiefs, well, guess what? We're live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Come hang out with us. We got some Super Chat giveaways, including a Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl 58 jersey. You're going to want to check it out. Make sure you're subscribed and hit us up on Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's talk about some ways the Chiefs could free up some cap space. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us today, Chiefs Kingdom. I'm your host of the Chiefs Report, Jace Andrews, and we're going to talk about 5 moves that Brett Veach could make to potentially add on to the Kansas City Chiefs cap space, which was helped out by a report a couple days ago. Little increase. Now, how do they make that even larger? I will say before we get going, obviously there's going to be some cut guys in here, so I want you to name a player in the comment section that needs to be cut, has to, before the 2024 season. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Get in the comment section and let me know and answer this question right off the bat here on the show. Now, I did mention the report from a couple days ago about freeing up some cap space. Well, Report had it. The NFL announced that the 2024 salary cap will be $255.4 million per club, with an additional $74 million per club payment for player benefits and a bunch of other stuff in there. That basically just means the Chiefs got more money. So originally they were around $14 million in cap space heading into 2024. Now they're $27.7 million free right now. And there's a couple moves that we're going to talk about today to potentially make this closer to around $60 million. So make sure you stick around, hang out with us, because there's a lot of things that we could talk about. And honestly, some of them may piss you off. So just a heads up, there are some suggestions that, well, it's going to save money for the Chiefs, but it may not be the best thing to do. And I think they'll do a couple of these. I don't think they'll do all of them. But it's just ways that I looked up and saw that if they did this, they could save a large portion of cap space. So let's get into it with the first, the obvious, the one that probably will happen, cutting Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Now, I'm going to sit here. I love the guy. I think he's been, honestly, since the playoffs, one of my favorite Chiefs players. I'm not going to lie. The tweets he's had, the way he's carried himself, things he's done, it's all been great. I just can't forget about the regular season and the fact that if we cut him, you save $12 million. Now, obviously, $12 million doesn't seem like a lot in terms of signing players, but you add that with some other moves, well, that could get you a top-tier wide receiver with just that. His 2023 stats, yikes. I don't really know what to say here. 21 receptions, 315, 1 touchdown, 3 drops. 3 drops. I thought it'd be more, to be honest, but it was just 3. His PFF grade, 52.1. Yeah, that was literally terrible. You don't believe me? 119th in the NFL out of 128 wide receivers. Ouch. Now, he did do well in the postseason. I'm not going to sit here and drag him down for that. I think the postseason was the reason he earned his money this year, but not for next year. I don't think that's going to be enough. Now, I will say he had the touchdown in the Super Bowl. That was pretty dang good. He talked about I don't know if you've been watching us, we talked about how he was the guy who called that 4th and 1 play in overtime. He came up to Mahomes, said we should run this. They ran it. 8 receptions, 128 in the playoffs, a touchdown in the Super Bowl. This guy was honestly pretty decent. But just because you were decent in the playoffs doesn't mean you're worth $12 million the next year when you played like absolute crap throughout the entire year before there. 3 drops was just the part of it. And honestly, season lows in receptions and yards, just the way he carried himself. I don't know. There's just a lot of things wrong there. So I think they're going to cut him. The second move that I think will happen, it's honestly already in motion from what I've heard, it just hasn't been completed yet, is restructuring Patrick Mahomes. Now, why this hasn't happened just yet, it seems as though the Chiefs want to wait until they see who's available and to see how much they actually need to free up, I think is the best way. Now, as of right now, his cap hit is in a $58 million range in 2024. But like I said, a restructurement could change that. Now, we had this report from Jonathan Jones who kind of made it to basically the nth degree of how much they could save. So, here's what he said. No matter what the number is, the Chiefs are certain to get Mahomes' cap number lower for 2024 by the start of the new league year in March. A simple contract restructure would save the team roughly $37 million in cap space, and Mahomes would have a cap hit in 2024 in the low 20s. Yeah, that's pretty good. So here's the cap space. Right now, $27.7 million. That's what we're at. Now, after restructuring, a couple of different things here and there, $64 million around that would be what the Chiefs would save by restructuring his contract. I don't know about you. I love Patrick Mahomes, but I think he also loves winning. And I think he's gotten to the point where he would probably rather grab some more Super Bowls than get paid more. Because honestly, listen, this is also true for Travis Kelce. Winning more is honestly going to make you more money in the long run because you're going to be noteworthy, you're going to continue to make money, and the brand deals are just going to skyrocket. So although maybe he's not getting the biggest contract on the field, he has that money that's guaranteed. Like his contract is going to hit big sometime. Maybe not this year. Go for the three-peat, and then you can kind of figure out past that. But hey, it's Mahomes, so that's pretty nice. If you think he's going to win the MVP in 2024, I want you to like the video because, man, I think he is due for one. I got to be honest. I know that we say due for one like he hasn't won one recently. But still, I think it's time. He didn't get it this year. Let's go win it next year. Plus, hopefully, an improved wide receiver room with all these cap space savings. Like the video if you think Mahomes will win it in 2024. I better see everybody liking that video, man. I better see it. Number 3, and this is why you probably clicked on the video. Number 3 is cut Charles Omenihu. And I'm going to tell you why it would make sense, but also why it would be stupid in just a second. But it would be stupid of you to not go and get your $100 deposit match on Prize Picks by going to prizepicks.com/CLNS and using the code CLNS. It's super easy to play. All you do, you pick 2 or more players. Then you can go and choose more or less on their Prize Picks projected stats. Super easy, choose flex or power play. And it's cool because they're the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. They're the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. And it's just you against the numbers. You don't have to battle pros or sharks. It's super, super easy. Once again, prizepicks.com/CLNS. And code CLNS is how you get that first deposit match of $100. Got the MLB season projections up. I got my boy, Bobby Witt Jr., the KC Royal. Get that big contract. I'm going the more on his hits. I'm also got a couple home run totals. I got Shohei Ohtani, Juan Soto, and Adolis Garcia. Here's why. World Series champion, playing at a Little League park, $700 million. These are all going to hit. Go make yourself some money. Do the same thing and tail on me. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season has been the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And if you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types where it makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use the code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. All right, we'll address it. Cut Charles Omenihu. Now, I say this because it's kind of a bad situation here for both sides. What exactly is happening? Well, here is this. He tore his ACL in the AFC Championship game, and it could be out a majority of 2024. If cut, $3.7 million in dead money would be what it would go to, and $7.2 million in cap savings is how he would have that out. So, obviously, right now, it seems like, okay, well, that would kind of make sense, to be honest. You save a lot of money. Yeah, but maybe he's not going to return as late as we think. He actually had this tweet just a couple days ago and said that, love seeing other people trying to gauge when I'm going to come back for something or what type of player I am. I would think after this year, people would stop second-guessing me, but guess not. I keep all the receipts, though. Oh, boy. Listen, I'm going to say this right now. I like the moxie here. I think this is great. And I don't think you cut him just because if you do, yeah, you save a lot of money. It helps you sign a good wide receiver probably. But you're also tarnishing your reputation with like every single free agent because if you get injured on the last year of your contract, oh, sorry, we're going to cut you. That's not how it works. Like that's just not right. But I could see the other side of it. From a business standpoint, if he is projected to miss a majority of the season, what's the point in keeping that $7.5 million in cap space? That seems stupid. So would you consider cutting him? And I'm just saying consider. I'm not saying you're going to, you are, not, whatever. Would you think about him? Are you thinking about it right now? Because if you are, well, then your answer is why for yes. If you're saying, Jace, you're an idiot, why are we even talking about this? Well, then type in for no, because that may be the answer that I'm putting down. I think I'm an idiot. But I just wanted to put it out there. Like, again, I'm saying, ultimately, these are all moves that would save you a plethora of money. So why not throw them all out there and just talk about them? And it's one that's been kind of floating around social media. I wanted to address it. Now, restructuring Jawan Taylor is the #4 one. And honestly, this one is a way better option than cutting Omenihu. just because you're going to save yourself, first of all, more money. And second of all, you're also going to be able to have a guy who kind of stunk. I'm not going to lie. This guy was penalty-ridden like crazy. You don't believe me? Well, I did a little bit of research here at the Chat Sports Studios, and, well, let's just look at the most penalized players. The most penalties, well, that'd be Juwan Taylor. Second most penalties, that'd be 12. Yeah, that's 8 penalties in between these two. Oh, well, what about the yards? Well, I'm sure he doesn't have as many yards, though, because they were all false starts. Those are 5 yards. Well, he also had 140 yards. The next closest, that'd be Tariq Woolen, 122 yards. Listen, this guy was penalized absolutely insanely, and you just need to look at this and be like, hey, man, you can't have that. So there's an easy way to do this, though. According to Jarrett Sapp of Arrowhead Pride, Chiefs could get about $12.6 million in cap space by simply taking some of the money and adding it to a signing bonus, is what I gathered. So it wouldn't be that hard to do. Plus, listen, Juwan's going to have to stay just because of the cost he is. You're not going to be able to cut him. That's just not what you're going to do. Especially because when he didn't get penalized, he was good. Problem was he was penalized pretty much every play, it seemed like. So you're going to save some money. Hopefully you're at the choice here where restructuring shouldn't be that hard. Just give him a little bit extra money in the signing bonus. Call it good. Now the last one. Again, going to talk about it because I think it's one that we need to mention. Cutting Justin Reid. And I have some more thoughts on this if you've seen our surprise cut candidates, because I know everybody was kind of freaking out about it. But I want to show this stat just again because I think this is underrated. Justin Reid was targeted 120 times over the past 2 years. He allowed over 700 yards and 7 touchdowns. The big thing, though, PFF, 52.8 PFF coverage grade. And the Super Bowl PFF grade, that was 54.2, less, right there. He was 83rd of 94 in terms of safeties in PFF ranks in 2023. Plus, if you cut or trade him, $12 million. Now, I don't think that's going to happen just because, well, they're going to let the contract run out. He was signed to the big money after the Texans. Let him go play. Let him go have fun. That's what it was. We saw that with the Honey Badger. They kept him on contract even though his cap hit was way more. I expect the same thing here for Mr. Justin Reid. The only guy who I'm pretty sure will be cut is MVS just because, listen, I know what you did, but you got to realize $12 million is a lot to pay for a guy who only had 300 yards in the entire season. Cutting Reid, Omenihu, again, both would save money, but I think it just makes you look bad in a lot of ways just because of what they've given in terms of Justin Reid, what he's given to the Chiefs. And for Omenihu, you're telling every free agent, hey, if you get hurt in your last year, we're cutting you. I don't want to sign there. I don't know about you, but I want to make sure I get my money even if I'm hurt. Now, obviously, if you do these, you do some of these, you do a little of these, whatever you do, you're going to save some money plus the extra cap space you've gotten with the new cap space number in 2024. So, I want you to get in the comment section and name a player the Chiefs should sign with their cap space and extra money. More people to sign. Who could it be? Get in the comment section and let me know. And while you're down there, hit that subscribe button as well because we're putting out Chiefs content every single day, 365. Technically this year, 366. So we're not missing a single day. Hit that sub button. And as always, Chiefs Kingdom. Peace out.